Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and President Donald Trump will be in Houston to address a crowd of thousands at the NRG Stadium this Sunday. It is said that while in town they will likely announce a new trade agreement between the two nations that will possibly end some of the trade issues that they have. This will also look to be a green light for the ongoing conflict in the Kashmir region, where the Indian Army has been blamed for human rights abuses and the Indian government has opened up the prospects of war. The government has also imposed a strict crackdown in the area of Kashmir. Thousands of people have been detained since then. Zafir Tahir is a local activist and spoke on the appearance.
You know, I myself personally have great respect for all three places, India, Pakistan, and my country, U.S. My parents lie in rest in Houston, and a tombstone there signifies their place of birth, very proudly, Agra, India, their place of marriage, Pakistan, and where they lie in rest, Houston. India is a great partner for Houston. Indian Americans are great friends. We have learned to work together, live together, dance together, mourn together, worship together. We are committed to finding common grounds, and I have dedicated myself over the last 3 decades in Houston to find common grounds with them. Some of my best friends and my neighbors are Indian Americans. But India is a great country, and India deserves better. India does not deserve Modi, and the argument that he is a foreign leader and we have to extend, a warm welcome. My counter argument is, Richard, what if tomorrow David Duke were to get elected by a huge margin in Louisiana as a governor? Would we be not protesting his visit if he were to come here and kind of duped us into rolling out the red carpet? As far as trade is concerned, Richard, if you remember, a lot of cities and counties in America, and I was in Houston at that time and I raised my voice, we joined the list of entities that were not doing business with South Africa. Why? Because of the apartheid. Now, local governments have nothing to do with South Africa. South Africa was a big economy. It was a huge trading partners, but we decided not to do business with South Africa. Why? Because we felt strongly that the government and the form of government in South Africa is not humanitarian. Similarly, before we talk about Kashmir, it is Indians who are at risk right now from Assam, where 4 million people of Indian origin and citizenship are being disenfranchised, Sikh community in Punjab, Dalits, Christians. I mean, all you got to do is read Washington Post, New York Times, Guardian. I think this phenomena of Modi is more of an alarm for the Indians and Indian Americans, because Indian Americans have been at the forefront of progressive politics in America. They have joined hands with ADL and African Americans and Martin Luther King. We look up to Gandhi and Martin Luther King as our role models. And here we see last few years Indian American community being pushed in extreme right corner of the politics. And now, Richard, with Trump announcing that he will be on a stage with Modi, I wish you were there, Richard, at the Harris County Democratic Party's meeting on Sunday, which is one of the largest counties in the U.S., and I was given the floor, and there was applause and nothing but applause when we talked about why we don't endorse the visit of Modi to Houston, because Modi's visit, before we go to Kashmir, is dividing us as a community. And my focus right now is to make sure that we, as the Desi community, Desi means Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, people who come from subcontinent. My focus is, and my Indian friends are committed to this, and I know Mayor is committed to this. I know City of Houston City Council is committed to this. I know the Commissioner's Court is committed to this. Yes, what is happening in Kashmir is really bad. Kashmir is an international issue that must be decided by a UN resolution that was passed in 1948 and several other resolutions. It is not a bilateral issue. President Trump in White House recently acknowledged that it's an issue where United States can play a role. What Modi is doing in Kashmir is just the tip of the iceberg. Richard, you got to see what is happening in Assam with 4 million people who thought they have Indian citizenship and are being stripped. Kashmir is under a lockdown for 6 weeks. Hospitals, clinics, government offices are not accessible. People cannot conduct business. They cannot go to school. It's a very, very dire situation. And yes, in Houston, there is a large Kashmiri population. But I think the larger group in Houston are Americans who worry about human rights situation in India.
A lot of Americans do not know that this can stroke a nuclear war, because both Pakistan and India have nuclear weaponry.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a huge international concern. Keep in mind, Richard, Narendra Modi was on a no-visa list of U.S. when he got elected. He's the first prime minister of any country that when he got elected, he was not allowed a visa for U.S. and I believe other Western European countries. And that's because of the charges that were made against him for genocide of Muslims in Gujarat. We are hoping that Indians and Indian Americans, but mostly Indians, because Indian Americans don't vote in Indian elections. Indians in the subcontinent will reverse their voting pattern. I mean, votes matter. Look, I mean, in this country, we elected Trump. In Britain, majority voted for Brexit. And now what's happening? Everybody's saying, oh my God, why did we vote that way? Right? The whole UK is in jeopardy. This country is thinking, oh my God, why did we elect Trump? So elections have consequences and democracies have to learn that.
There will be many protests around the NRG on Sunday. The Alliance for Justice and Accountability is organizing a series of events this weekend in Houston to protest the upcoming visit of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi at NRG Stadium in Houston. They will be having a rally at 8111 Kirby, and it will run from 8 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon.